Hello, today I'm gonna be unboxing this expansion card, and before I talk to you about the box, I'm gonna show you what's inside because I think that's what most people came for. I already removed the sticker, so I don't have to do this while recording. So you see this card box right here. This is the expansion card itself. I'm gonna put this aside. I'll show you in a minute what it looks like. But it's kind of very quickly show the accessories that come with inside the box. This is, if I can get it right, this is either the USB 2 cable or the Thunderbolt cable. Looking at it, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10, 12, 13. I'm not quite sure. Sorry. And this is the, okay, I get it. This is the Thunderbolt cable. This is the cable that goes to the Thunderbolt header on your motherboard. Because of the, I just realized that because of the amount of pins that one of the headers have, or one of the headers has. And this is the cable that goes to the USB header of your motherboard as well. So I guess you have to plug in both in order to have in order for the adding card to work correctly. And this is a, let me see if it can focus. This is the mini DP or mini display port to DisplayPort cable. And here's another mini display port to DisplayPort cable. So as you can see, it doesn't come with any USB-C to C cables. You need to source your own cable, such as this one. This is actually an Thunderbolt. This is an Apple Thunderbolt 5 cable from from Apple, and well, you want to have a quality cable because this card supports up to 100 watts of charging. Now, finally onto the card. I'll show you. You remove this. Comes in a ESD bag. So before you unbox it, you need to make sure you are doing this in a low SD environment so you don't damage the card. Let's try to take it out very carefully. Neat. It's heavier than I expected. And I don't know, it seems to have a back plate. Because of all the reflections, you can't see very well, but the design of the back is pretty cool. And this is a single slot full height expansion card, so you need to keep that in mind. You need to make sure you have one free expansion slot, and it has to be full height from your case. So this is the what's gonna look once you install it from the back of your case. You'll see two USB Type-C ports. The first one, so labeled Type-C underscore 1. That one supports up to 100 watts of charging. And the Type-C underscore 2 only supports up to 27 watts of charging, which is enough for older iPhones, for Samsung phones, and entry-level phones in general, which are the ones that typically that only support slower charging. But for higher end, more modern iPhones and Samsung phones, then you should use the one that's farthest away from the PCIe slot. You also see 2 mini display ports, and I'm gonna get into the specifics of the mini display port connectivity in a second. That's the PCIe X4. So you need to make sure you have free space in the PCIe X4 port or ports of your motherboard. And this is the back of the expansion card. So you'll see 3 connectors. The 6-pin PCIe, so that's to provide power, and that's how you'll get your charging to work. And then you have a USB 2 header, and this one is the Thunderbolt header. Well, that's all there's to it as far as the expansion card go. I don't know if this is a... Oh, okay, I can peel the... You can peel the back, and I guess there's also like some plastic on the top. I feel like there's something to peel on the top. Yep. So you can peel the top and the back. Sorry, but I'm not gonna do it since I'm not gonna install it just now. And finally, I'm gonna show you the box. The only side that shows some relevant information is the one on the back. So that's where I'm gonna start. Okay, let me see if... okay, yep, it looks cute. Let me see if I can get it to work. Well, that says expansion card Thunderbolt X4. That's the image, but I'll already show you the card itself, so I don't think you need to look at it very closely. And this is what I just told you, the ports it has on the back. Okay, and well, the ports that are, once you install it, these are the ports that'll show up inside your computer, and these are the ports that are accessible from the back of your case. Okay, it doesn't want to focus, but... And there's a brief description of the product. Thunderbolt X4 and up to 100 watts of charging. Thunderbolt 4 and up to 100 watts of charging. ASUS ThunderboltEX 4 card features 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports that support Thunderbolt 4 technology and 2 mini display port-in ports that support display port 1.4 specifications that allow you to redirect VGA input signals through the ThunderboltEX card for video output. The Thunderbolt 4 port also features a number of features such as 40 gigabits per second bidirectional bandwidth and incorporates DisplayPort 1.4 support, enabling fast transfer and display of 8K video files simultaneously, and allows you to connect up to 5 Thunderbolt enabled devices in a daisy chain configuration using Thunderbolt cables. If you don't have Thunderbolt cables, then it probably won't work. The Type-C _1 port also supports up to 100 watts for laptop quick charging. Now it doesn't specify what charging protocols the card supports. So right now I only have the iPhone that I'm using to record this video, and this Pocophone F6, not the Pro, regular Pocophone F6, to try the charging function. This does support up to 96 watts of charge, I think. So maybe in the future video, just maybe, I'll show you if the charging function works properly with those devices. But in theory, it should charge any device that supports up to 100 watts via USB-C. And you'll see, let me rotate the phone, see if I can get it to. Okay, fine. So this shows you examples on how to make use of the daisy chain function of Thunderbolt. So that's what makes Thunderbolt special. You can daisy chain just like you could with Firewire. For example, you can have 2 displays and 3 storage devices at the same time, or maybe 1 display and 4 storage devices. It also highlights that the maximum supported monitor resolution may differ according to the amount of devices connected. And I want to talk to you about this. It seems like the maximum specification for this specific DisplayPort implementation is 8K at 60 Hz. You'll see it in a moment. And you'll see a lot of logos. These have to do with regulation, compliance, and to be honest, I don't know them all. So, well, you can pause the video to if you want to know any details. I think you can even see the small text right here. And there's a QR if you wanna join ASUS member. And well, as part of the sticker, and you'll see the address for from ASUS. So if you wanna contact ASUS and all that, or if you wanna you wanna know where they have like HQ and all that, there are locations for UK, Germany, Austria, ASUS Global, and I don't know what these are. I didn't want to remove the sticker and probably ruin the box, but these probably have to do with North America and the rest of the Americas, most likely. And let me show you the brief spec table that they provide in the box. Okay, I think maybe I should rotate it again. Okay, nice. It uses an Intel JHL 8540 Thunderbolt 4 controller, so that's how it converts a motherboard that's non-Thunderbolt ready into a motherboard that's Thunderbolt ready. It uses a PCIe 3.0 times 4 slot for communication, so you need a motherboard that has a free PCIe 3.0 X4 port or slot, like I discussed earlier, and also the motherboard itself needs to be compatible with this specific card. That's very important. As you can see, it supports DisplayPort 1.4 and the max resolution is 7680 by 4320. That's exactly 8K with a 16:9 aspect ratio, and that's at 60 Hz. And again, there's a side note that says max resolution support will depend on your VGA source. But if you have the capable GPU and use the right cable, you'll get up to 8K at 60 hertz, which is really neat. When it comes to the accessories, I just show you what the card comes with. The card itself, the two mini DP cables, the USB 2.0 cable, the 14+1 pin Thunderbolt header cable. So yeah, you need to check very well where the Thunderbolt header of your motherboard is. It's got the user manual, and you can also download the user manual from ASUS's website, which is more likely up to date, and a support DVD with the Thunderbolt driver. And for this one in particular, I strongly recommend you to download the drivers from ASUS's website page. Whatever, you go to the page of this card and you download the drivers from there. The compatible motors, it says ASUS Intel 500 series and later models with a 14+1 pin Thunderbolt header. Refer to www.asus.com for up-to-date compatible models. Yep, just search that page and you'll see the compatible models, because the compatible models, because this soldering card is also compatible with many AMD motherboards. The OS is Windows 10 64-bit. It should also be compatible with Windows 11 64-bit. I don't know about Linux. I'm gonna use it in a Windows 11 system. Sadly, yeah, Windows, yeah, it's kind of terrible situation, but it should be compatible with Windows 11 as well. But if not, I might make a video after I install the card. But who knows, maybe it isn't compatible and not because of Windows. I'm not sure about that. Form size is said to be 4.6 inches by 7.1 inches, or like here we use centimeters, 11.77 centimeters by 11.05 centimeters. I see the card and I think it is very compact, but you may have compatibility issues. That's something that I will explain in a later video. I eventually get to make that video, and I'm gonna show you what comes in other parts of the box. That's the front. That's the front. Okay. This is the side. Nothing very exciting. Pretty much the same. And there's my fingertips. Okay, all around here. Okay. Expansion card ThunderboltEX 4. Expansion card ThunderboltEX 4. Pretty much the same as the opposite side. And there is the same, plus brief marketing note that says, I know you may not see this very well. Let me see if I can. There you go. Innovatively enjoy a whole new digital experience. And the same message is shown in Spanish. I think it's Korean, French, Russian, I think. And there must be maybe Mandarin and Japanese. I'm not quite sure. I don't understand all those languages. In Dutch, which is German, Portuguese, Turkish, Italian, and the one on the bottom right, I have no idea what it is. The one on the bottom center, pretty sure it's Japanese. last but not least, the opposite side. You'll see the same expansion card, ThunderboltEX 4. This I use I use the half of the sticker, the one that I cut, to block the serial number, because that's for that's how you access warranty services by ASUS, so I don't want that to be shown. And these are some barcodes, more barcodes, and brief description of the product. ThunderboltEX 4, two Thunderbolt 4 USB for Type-C ports, Type-C _1, supports up to 100-watt quick charging, PCIe 3.0 X4 interface, display port 4.1, it supports daisy chaining, it's an add-on card, and something relevant made in China, as usual. And this I also want to show you. The manufacturing date is October of 2024, so about a year ago it was manufactured. I think this card being on shelves for about 1 year shouldn't be something to worry about. And this is information, this is required, I guess, by Mexican law. I didn't detail this, but I bought this from Amazon Mexico, and as you can see right here, that's the one who imports this stuff, Amazon Mexico. And this is the address of Amazon Mexico, and this stuff is mostly for paying taxes, I assume. Again, made in China, but in Spanish. And pedimento ID, not quite sure what that means, even though it's in Spanish. But that's about it. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.